Welcome to the State Farm Center in Champaign, Illinois for the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships. Looking forward to some high flyers and stuck landings in session 2 of this 3-session championship presented by Allstate. Right now, we will see 3 top 25 teams in Ohio State, Penn State, and Iowa, and Maryland is close at 27. Reminder, one event here broken up into 3 sessions. Rutgers is our current leader after last night. And later tonight, what a show with 4 top 15 teams in Minnesota, Michigan State, Michigan, and number 5 UCLA. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with Olivia Karas. And Olivia, make no mistake, I'm expecting big-time gymnastics, Big Ten style.
And the energy in here has been exactly that, big time. The athletes look prepared, they look ready. I've seen a lot of stuck landings, and I expect that throughout this event.
All right, Olivia, as always, we're going to start with the all-around story.
Oralee Tran, the all-arounder from Iowa, elegance personified, identified as a level-headed athlete, incredibly dynamic, had a career-high 39.6 in the all-around last week. Incredible work. Her teammate, equally as talented, but very different in styles. Sophie Schriever, the freshman, has competed in the all-around in every competition of her freshman year, all above a 39.25. Kudos to her, she's pumped and locked in. Tori Vetter is a name you know well, a career high of a 39.625, 39.525 season high in the all-around. She's consistent, she's confident, she's a leader, and she's looked great this season.
All right, and we have event phenoms and event difference makers.
2 athletes I'm particularly impressed by. First, Dani Latronica has had nothing below a 9.8 on bars and beam all season. That is so hard to do. She's a vaulter as well. You'll see her on 3 events. They need her big time. And Maddie Komarovsky from Maryland, one of the most beautiful athletes in the Big Ten Conference. Head coach Brett Nelligan calling her a gymnastics unicorn, someone process-driven and beautiful across the board. There's other event difference makers that are critical. Ava Pietrahita, a 9.9 plus 4 times in 2026 on vault. Daisy Bowles, just a freshman, a 9.95 career high. She's level-headed, mature, and well-respected. Natalie Martin, former Terp, current Buckeye, has looked great on balance beam. And J.J. Coleman, get ready for a show. She's gone 10 on floor. She wants to do it again today.
Fantastic job, Olivia, and what a great day of gymnastics it is going to be in Champaign. So glad you're with us here on the Big Ten Network. Let's take a look at the coaches for the 4 teams in session 2. As you see, Sarah Brown, left-hand corner, Penn State, now in her 9th year. Brett Nelligan has been at Maryland 17 years. Then in the left-hand corner, Jen Llewellyn, just her 2nd year coming over from Washington. And Meredith Polasiewicz, a national champion as a gymnast at Utah, now in her 9th season. Let's take a look at the all-around story coming off of last night as we go into today.
What a performance from Gabby Dildy, a 39.325, particularly on bars and beam. She was so excellent across the board on 4 events. Those 2 really stood out to me. She's the leader in the clubhouse, but massive kudos as well to Kristen Lynn, Isabel Saikon rounding it out. Noteworthy to see here that Chloe Cho is not part of the all-around standings, and that's because at the last minute she did not compete on vault.
Of course, in gymnastics, you always have to talk, unfortunately, about deductions.
Well, it is a subjective sport, but judges are looking for, if your feet are flexed, your legs are bent, your legs are cross-wall twisting, those can all garner deductions, as you see here. Insufficient split, I'll talk about it a lot. Judges want to see perfect 180 degrees. Wobbles can be up to 3/10. That could be on any event, actually, if you wobble. Falls, flat 5. Landings, steps, or hops can be up to 2/10. You have to hold your landing position to show control. You'll hear me say control a lot. You should start a tally. And then if you step out of bounds, that is a flat 1/10.
All right, we'll start on vault and bars, where Minnesota and Michigan State are respectively. Then we'll move over to the beam, where UCLA is. sorry, I'm already thinking about the next session. Penn State and Maryland, and then Iowa and Ohio State on the beam and the floor. And here we go, Elizabeth Leary.
Full twisting Yurchenko, and what a way to start. A 9.95 start value vault. And I was about to say, Penn State was drilling these landings in the warm-up session. Look at that positioning, slight pike down going into the landing, but no doubt about it, 0 deductions there. Well done in the leadoff position.
Sarah Seville for Maryland with a 9-8 on Sunday. Maryland performed on Friday and Sunday, so I'll be giving both scores when available as well. And then you see Maggie Ball talking to her head coach, Jen Llewellyn, as Iowa will get ready for the beam. They are 24th in the country on the beam, the Hawkeyes are. Maryland, by the way, 34th in the country on the bars. Penn State, 22nd in the country on the vault. And when we get to the Buckeyes on the floor, they're really good. They're 13th nationally.
Interesting to note that Sarah Seville is the sole returner in the Terps lineup. The remainder of the athletes in this lineup are freshmen or transfers. So love to see someone with experience leading off for them. As on the other side, Maggie Ball, just a freshman leading off. These leadoff positions are really critical.
Maggie coming off a 9.775.
So far, so good for Sarah. Nice hit handstand. Saw some bent arms going into the handstand. Those were those execution deductions the judges pay attention to. I couldn't hang on to it. Had to take a step forward. She was moving backward and stepped forward, so that could indicate under rotation. A very clean routine to lead things off as Maggie Ball looking solid in her opening backhand spring layout series.
Just one little step for Sarah, so close to a stuck landing.
Nice jump connection for Maggie. Her back leg on the split jump was slightly low of 180. Judges are paying attention to those details.
Riley Guevara coming off a 9.875, which is her season high. She does have a career high of 9.925. Riley for the Buckeyes on the floor.
And a hop backward on the landing for Maggie Ball, but she's in that position because she can be relied on and she delivers a hit routine to start the competition off. Great opening pass from Riley. Ohio State knows how to put on a show on floor exercise, and Riley starts the party.
Danny Latronica, first team All Big Tenner, coming up a 9.8.
Another full twisting Yurchenko. Hop backward on the landing. I saw some pike down in her hips going into the landing, which results in backward movement. Really nice speed going into the table. Legs glued together on the block. Well done. And the hop backward was the largest deduction throughout. Solid start for Danny Latronica, who we get to see on 2 more events this evening.
So we'll move over to the Iowa Hawkeyes. 24th nationally on the beam, which is not bad. Marissa Rojas won the Sportsmanship Award. Exhibition last week with a 9.825.
Great leadoff performance on floor for Ohio State. She knows how to get them hyped up. So her connection, a Rudy to a layout step out. The rise of the layout step out after the Rudy is lovely. And a great performance.
Move back to Maryland and Megan Bingham. Sunday had a 9.85. She's on the bars for the Terps.
Nice height on her Tkachev release. See her rushing on the handstands. Judges want to see handstands vertical on top of the bar. That was the best one of the 3. Good job. As Marissa Rojas looking steady on balance beam. from Megan. The whole routine looked rushed to me. It gets very difficult to compete on a podium. In fact, it can make the equipment bouncier. You have to be more patient. And that's something that comes with experience. And speaking of experience, the fifth year, Marissa Rojas came back for a fifth year specifically to make this beam lineup. And here she is in her final Big Ten championship, sticking the landing. That's got to be a great feeling.
All right, Bailey Bellman, after seeing Raleigh Guevara tie her season high back-to-back weeks of 9.875. Bailey Bellman coming up on 9.85. She's on the floor. Allison Kempfer next to go for Penn State, coming off a 9.875.
Here's our first look at a 10-0 start value vault. A Yurchenko 1.5. Hop backward on her landing, indicating under rotation. That means she could use some more height and distance to land in the perfect position. Some softness in her knees throughout the routine. Those are the execution deductions we mentioned at the top, the bent knees. Judges could take those into account when looking at the vault overall, but love to see the difficulty.
Move back to the beam where Haley Tyson, setting her season high last week at a 9.85, does have a career high of 9.9.
Looking good on floor, Bailey Bellman. Second pass, a front full to a front layout, controlled lunge forward. Good job working through the jumps to make her straddle full all the way around. Leap precision is very important.
Reminder, as you can see, the scores will continually be updated on the bottom of your Big Ten Network screen. As Tyson waiting for the signal to start on the beam.
Final pass for Bailey, a double tuck. Good job working through the landing. Looked like she landed fairly lower than usual, but activated the quad muscles and was able to hang on to the landing. Really nice set into the double tuck. You see there, it almost looked like an awkward landing, but she worked out of it very nicely. That's 2 for 2 for the Bucks.
Move back to the bars where Maryland, Gianna Ruffing, 9.825 on Friday and Sunday for the Terps.
Solid start from Haley Tyson. You can see the determination in her eyes, looking great so far.
Do you hear the coaches on the bars? You do hear
Sometimes,
them?
yeah. It depends on how aware you are or locked in. And Gianna, good job on the routine. Again, I saw some rushing in the beginning. Wasn't letting the bar do the work for you, which means it swings up and down, and it can give you additional height if you don't fight it. Just that hop backward on the landing. And a hop forward from Haley Tyson. But she is newer in this balance beam lineup in the last couple of weeks and totally has nailed it. Take a peek at the flight series, triple series, 2 back handsprings into the layout, step out, arms come up and over. Exactly what you want to see in a difficult combination like that.
Ava Cash next to go for Penn State. She made the all Big Ten freshman team from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Back to 9.95 start value, a full twisting Yurchenko to a stick. Ava Cash, a very tall gymnast. Head coach Sarah Brown has been so impressed with her power given her height. Knew exactly where she was, saw the ground. There was a minor pike in her hips, but she did open up more than I've seen in the past, and that aided her in landing with a 0 deduction landing.
Here's the pass from Cameron Smith for the Buckeyes, coming up a 9.825. Orly Tran for Iowa next to go. Her last score, a 9.7. Does have a career high of 9.9.
second and final pass for Cam Smith. Combination front pike through to a double tuck and a hop forward, had her chest down, which results in moving forward. When your chest isn't on top of your knees, that's where you can get into these landing errors. As Orly Tran with a gorgeous opening series front aerial back handspring. Very pretty split positions.
Next up for Maryland on the bars, Anya Reed, Friday at 9.75, Sunday at 9.775.
Difficult combination. A Ginger into the shoot over. Missed. Didn't have as much power going into the shoot over as Orly Tran put up a pretty flawless balance beam routine. Dismounting with the gainer pike, big air time, opens it up, flares it. That was one of the best beam routines I've seen her do this season. She has locked in. We take a look here at the dismount from Anya Reed. Really nice height and distance. Hips are just back, which results in the step backward.
Jessica Johansson for Penn State.
Another full twisting Yurchenko, hop backward on her landing, but coming after the stuck landing from Ava Cash. The energy is certainly building on vault for Penn State. There's nice power going into the horse. She almost looked high on the table, and that means she didn't get her hands on for the perfect block to get the pop and the height that you need for your vault to be in the perfect position to stick.
Caitlin Grimes on the right-hand side on the floor for the Buckeyes. Last week, a 9.75 career high for Caitlin is a 9.925. Sydney Turner will be next to go on the beam for Iowa on the left.
Caitlin Grimes, identified by head coach Meredith Polasivic as the team's unsung hero. She delivers week after week. She competes confidently. She hones in on the details. Some extra juice going into the layout there. Just a small movement forward.
As we look at Sydney Turner, Orly Tran tying her career high with a 9.9. You're not surprised at all, are you?
The great routine and well-deserved score. Nice opening mount from Sydney. Final pass for Caitlin, a double tuck. Her front foot moved ever so slightly, which results in the judges potentially taking a deduction. But a 3-pass routine. Never thought I'd say that's something we don't see often, but it is 3 passes. A solid start for Sydney Turner. We're seeing a lot of triple series elements so far. Upping the difficulty. That split position is textbook.
Chelsea Dennis on Friday had a 9.8. Sunday, a slip up with an 8.725.
Really nice height on the piked Jaeger. Leg separation going into the shoot over. But good job flowing through. And a near stuck dismount from Sydney Turner. As we see a hop backward from Chelsea. Chest just looked low on the landing, but here's that landing from Sydney. Hop forward. Biggest deduction in the routine is right there at the end.
See the high fives for the Hawkeyes. Let's take another look at that dismount on the right.
A different dismount that we see. Her eyes were down though, which is why potentially there was a hop backward.
Ava Piedrahita set to go, the senior from Maryland.
First look at a different vault. Very nice. a half onto the table, a front pike off. After being out last season with an injury, they are thrilled to have her back. See the half on legs glued together, opens it up, doesn't bend her knees in the pike going into the landing. That is very important. We see a lot of athletes start to bend. Look at the open in the hips, no bend in the knees. Truly performs that vault as, in my opinion, one of the best in the NCAA.
I agree with you, Olivia. Tori Vetter, a first-team All-Big Ten selection, coming off a 9.875 on the floor for the Buckeyes.
I could watch Tori Vetter do gymnastics all day, every day. She makes it look easy. Her technique is awesome.
I feel like you're going to be saying that the next 4 years about the woman on the left and Sophie Schriever.
You can read my mind, Dean. Absolutely agree. Firecracker with remarkable talent.
Schriever, the 9.875 in her last performance, does have a season high of a 9.9 for the freshman.
Cover up from Sophie. Back handspring layout, step out. Rushed, bringing her arms up. Just had to step backward. But two perfect landings for Tori Vetter. Carbon copy week after week. She does that routine so incredibly well.
As you stated earlier, Tori Vetter has been outstanding in the Big Ten for the Buckeyes.
Switch leap connection for Sophie. First switch leap, shy of 180. Second one, great job hitting split. She rose her back leg, kicked harder.
Moving back to the bars, Madeline Komorowski, Friday 9.75, Sunday a 9.875. And what I'm talking about, they didn't have to go far. They had a Towson quad on Friday and then a George Washington quad on Sunday.
Beautiful release move. Pack salto. This is a new event for Maddie in her senior season. She worked incredibly hard to relearn technique in order to compete this event for her team. Just didn't get enough speed going into the dismount, had to take a very large step forward. But what's most important about this is adding in gymnastics later in your career. You see her chest just stayed forward. She wasn't able to bring it up to be right on top of her hips. But the fact that she went into the gym every day and relearned how to do giants, the skills that get you into the dismount, that is remarkable process-driven work and should be rewarded.
All right, you talked about 10s earlier in the open. J.J. Coleman has put up a 10 on the floor. A second-team All-Big Ten selection. As you take a look at the perfect 10s this season, how about those four? Jordan Childs, J.J. Coleman, Nikki Smith, and Ariana Ostrom from Minnesota. I can tell you Iowa as a team with a season-high score of 49.275. If you're going to get a season high, doing it at the Big Ten Championships is pretty nice.
Not a bad time to lock in. Stunning first pass.
We both kind of looked at each other. Incredible. Coleman, a sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
2 on excellent landings for J.J. Coleman. That routine never gets old. The technical work she has put in to dialing this routine in should be studied. First pass keeps the knees together. See, slight cross in her ankles going into the final tuck, but we're in slow-mo here, so not easy to see in real time, and plants the right foot down. So impressed with her work and been rewarded for her hard work. Assistant coach Michaela Stuckey has worked so hard with her in the offseason to dial this in, and my goodness, is it paying off.
J.J. Coleman. Coleman expecting a decent score right after she saw Tori Vetter get her 5th 9.9 of the season. We did see 110 from a judge. 9.95 is the score for J.J. Coleman to wrap up the floor for the Buckeyes and wrap up rotation 1. Iowa with 3 gymnasts over 9.85, including Oralee Tran, as Oralee Tran with another 9.9 stuck landing. And Tori Vetter for the Buckeyes, a 9.9 as well. 1 rotation done. Rotation 2 next. Some people just know how to save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Allstate, you're in good hands. Award winners were announced this week for Big Ten gymnastics. Some impressive gymnasts, first team all Big Ten.
What a stacked list, as we didn't see her in the all-around. Chloe Cho, though, making that list. We'll see a lot of these athletes later today, but Tori Vetter, Dani Latronica, and Gabrielle Dildy, along with Oralee Tran. A few faces and names you're seeing today. And the second team all Big Ten, you see J.J. Coleman making it over there on the right. Lily Tubbs, kudos to her. She had a great day yesterday, and a lot of other people that we're going to see later today, so make sure you tune in. It's going to be an awesome day of gymnastics.
Congrats to all the winners. We'll be back with rotation 2 in Champaign.
Rotation 1 in the books. Ava Piedrahita rounding out the vault rotation for Penn State. Well done to her. Iowa on beam. As you said, Dean, a season high. They were on fire. And, of course, Tori Vetter and J.J. Coleman. The 1-2 punch at the end of that Buckeyes rotation is impressive. Kudos to J.J. She is tied for the lead on vault in this competition.
That 1-2 punch has given Ohio State the lead after the first rotation. We move to the second rotation where the Buckeyes will be on the vault. Caitlin Grimes, who won the Sportsmanship Award, coming off a 9.7, has a career high of 9.9. It'll be Jessica Johansson first to go on the bars for Penn State. The Buckeyes, by the way, 16th in the nation on the vault. Penn State 11th in the nation on the bars.
Caitlin starts off with a full twisting Yurchenko, looking to dial in these landings. Hop backward, but her technique off the table is really nice. Big pop, nice amplitude, distance from the table. Saw some leg separation at this angle. Again, this angle is a little different than what the judges will see. So we have slightly different view that we're seeing things they may not. But regardless, great technique, nice job, and just that hop backward.
On the beam, Maryland, who are 28th in the country. We'll start with Megan Bingham. I just told you about their 2 quads last weekend. She had a 9.825 on Friday and then a 9.675 on Sunday. Now Jessica Johansson finally gets to go on the bars, coming up a 9.75.
Jessie's been comfortable in this position during her career as the leadoff. Opening Tkachev release move, lacking amplitude, but well done on the Pack Salto transition. Shy of handstand on her half turn, but I like the pacing of this routine. She's being incredibly patient. And a stuck landing. Sticks can be contagious, and Jessie Johansson just started them off with one. That is why they love to have her in the leadoff position. Incredibly reliable. As speaking of being reliable in the leadoff, Megan Bingham. Nice opening back handspring layout, step out right on top of the beam.
Bingham does have a career high, sorry, of 9.95.
Good correction on the side aerial. Was off and was able to bring it right back into center.
Orly Tran, you just saw her on that first team All Big Ten. 9.825 in her last performance. Career high, 9.925.
Forward for Megan, but a hit routine in the leadoff as Orly Tran. The emotion in this floor exercise is lovely. It's more of a performance, truly, than a routine.
Buckeyes. See Jalen there with a career high of 9-9, ready to go for Ohio State.
Another full twisting Yurchenko for Jalen to a stick. Nice job on the landing. As we see the picture perfect leaps from Orly Tran. Take a look at what the judges see. Nice pop off the table, flat body. I love to see it. She didn't hold her landing for a second, and that's something we talked about. It's a newer rule this season. The judges want to show control. She got so excited and turned to salute the judge. So I'm not sure what they'll take there, if they will or not, but just wanted to note, as Orly Tran, this routine belongs in the record books. Just stunning.
Anya Reed set to go. Coming off last weekend's scores of 9-6, 7-5, and 9-6. Ellie Monahan on the right, on the bars for Penn State.
Opening connection for Ellie. Maloney to a pack. The pack lacked amplitude. It almost looked like she didn't have as much swing on her Maloney. But I love her giant technique. Straight arms all the way through. And a shuffle on her landing. Couldn't quite catch the stick bug, but most certainly minimized the deductions. Well, so far, so good for Anya Reed in the second position on balance beam. Switch leap to a pike jump. Both positions could use little more height, hit the split, hit the pike quicker.
Sydney Turner, second to go for Iowa on the floor, coming off a 9.825, has a career high of 9.925. The Hawkeyes 24th in the nation on the floor as a team.
Really nice opening double wolf turn for Sydney.
Cameron Smith next to go for the Buckeyes on the left-hand side. Last week, 9.825.
Nice opening pass, double pike to a controlled lunge. Cam can fly high. A 10-0 start value vault, a Yurchenko 1.5. And a pretty big hop forward, but the technique in the air, she does very well. I love the speed going into the table. You saw some leg separation on the table, and just that hop forward, really. But what I love about Cam on vault is the legs are glued. Nothing's coming apart after she comes off the table. Judges love to see that. missed the punch in between the 1.5 and the front layout for Sydney. She did a nice job working through. Sometimes on floor exercise, you gotta fake it till you make it, even though it's not your best performance.
Reyna Engelmeyer had 9.75s on Friday and Sunday. Pretty consistent. Her career high is a 9.875. Meanwhile, for Penn State, Elizabeth Leary coming off a 9.875. As she gets up there, you talked about liking their pacing on the bars. What do you mean by that, Olivia?
A lot of it has to do with being patient. All bars are different, believe it or not, especially on a podium. Bars can bounce more, and the patience allows the bar to help you do the work. You don't have to work as hard. You can let it bump you up just like that. Fantastic job letting the bar do the work. She just had to be patient and swing it, and that is what she did. Blind full, stays in between the 10-degree angle at the end of the full. The double tuck opens right up. No doubt about it on that landing.
Gorgeous landing for Penn State as Reyna doing her thing on the beam. Iowa on the floor. Haley Tyson will be next to go. Had a 9.8 in her last performance. Career high for Haley is a 9.9.
I loved that skill from Reyna. A side aerial to 2 feet. And her dismount had a step backward on the landing, so the Terps aren't quite finding those zero deduction landings. Those can add up if you think about how a step or a hop can be up to 2/10. Just couldn't hang on. Shoulders were behind her hips. Small step, but a step.
Ohio State's Natalie Martin on the left, coming up a 9.7. Does have her career high of 9.925 for the Buckeyes.
Another 10-0 start value vault. Bringing the difficulty. Yurchenko 1.5. Feet did not move. I saw an arm swing almost. That's what I mentioned earlier about how you can have balance checks, not necessarily only on the balance beam. Great height off the table. Look at exactly where her shoulders are, and the smile is priceless. Just that arm swing to show she was hanging on, trying to catch her balance, but nonetheless, those feet did not move. Front double twist for Haley. Lots of energy moving forward. She did a good job of slowing things down, did take a larger step.
Emily DeFries on the left. Friday and Sunday with a 9.825 for the Terps. High fives for Tyson and the Hawkeyes, and some Let's Go Hawks talk. Eva Piedrahita will be next to go on the bars for Penn State. Last week, her career high, 9.95.
This is a special bar routine. Ava is so calculated on this event. The technique in the half turn to make sure she stays on top of the bar. Nice job on the final handstand. Just the dismount. Hop backward. Unfortunately, the routine on the bar was so nice. Just had the landing deduction, really. The rest, I didn't see much that the judges could write down on their paper. Emily opens up with her series, rushed a bit and had to take an additional step backward. Judges could take that into account for a balance error, but nothing to take on her side aerial. Beautiful job.
Back to the floor we go. Sophie Schriever The second team all Big Ten and all freshman team, 9.625 last week. Her season high is a 9.925.
Small hop backward for Emily. That was a great routine all around. As Sophie Schriever opens up with a sky-high double pike, controlled lunge backward. Huge pass, whip half to a Rudy, a larger step backward, but good job keeping the front foot planted to show the judges control.
Tori Vetter last week at 9.85.
Back to 9.95 start value. Full twisting Yurchenko with a hop backward. But Tori is so elegant on vault. She and Orly Tran really match elegance on the power events, which is very hard to do. Sophie Schriever finishing off her floor exercise routine. Dynamics should be her middle name. She is just a powerhouse in her energy, in her mindset, and in her gymnastics. Big set on the Rudy. I love when the second salto rises, shows great technique.
Ava Cash setting her career high last week with a 9.925.
Big piked Jaeger, good patience on the handstand. Ava is a tall gymnast. Head coach Sarah Brown told me, I think she does a really good job on bars because she has to be patient because of her height. I couldn't hang on to the landing, but her lines are just elegant.
Chelsea Dennis on the left, last competed as part of the team back on February 7th against Rutgers. Primarily a bars competitor, into the beam lineup for Maryland.
Solid back handspring layout step out series.
On the right, huge Jaquavia Henderson, second team all Big Ten, coming off a 9.8 for the Hawkeyes.
Nice sheep jump. See, she's a little unsure of some of these landings. Saw on that front aerial, she landed and then second guessed herself and had to pike at the hips. Just needs to settle in. The small hop backward, but kudos to her for going into the lineup at the last minute and delivering.
J.J. Coleman, 9.85 last week for the second team all Big Ten performer.
This vault is massive. A 9.95 start value vault, but she can score in the 9.9 range. Hop backward on her landing, but the height is great. Happy to see her really dialing into her fantastic technique across the board. As Q opened up with a big full twisting double tuck. Look at the hip position from JJ. Flat hips. The judges love to see that. She has enough time to open it up, flare it, and see the ground.
Madeline Komorowski will be the anchor for the Terps. 9.875 last Friday, then a 9.825 on Sunday. Career high for Madeline, 9.95.
Final pass for Q. Front through to a double tuck. Nice control on her lunge. Chest was just slightly down. means her eyes needed to come up so her chest would rise. But she is such a veteran competitor that she knew how to make sure she controlled her lunge. There's the front through into the double tuck. Nice set into the double tuck. And there you just see the eyes are down, but she's so quick twitched, she was able to bring her chest up, controlled lunge back.
Dani LaTronica, first team all Big Ten, coming off a 9.85, has a career high of 9.95.
Big opening, piked Jaeger. Gorgeous bail handstand right on top of the bar. Beautiful job. Just her dismount. Let's see if she can find it. Heck yeah, she can. That was sensational. Dare I say, Dani LaTronica, that was electronica. My gosh.
You go, Olivia, for the sophomore from Lake Worth, Florida.
We are seeing side-by-side excellence. Look at the height on her dismount. Could have hung on to the landing just a second more, but all of the gymnastics she performed was beautiful. And speaking of beauty, Maddie Komarovsky putting on a clinic on beam.
Stella DePaula, 9.85, her career high set last week for the Hawkeyes.
Gorgeous job, front double full into a very pretty stag jump. Just the dismount for Maddie. Round off 1.5 twist. And a hop forward. Terps couldn't find those stuck landings on beam, but Maddie is such a joy to watch. Her elegance on balance beam is top notch. As Stella DePaula in the anchor position on floor as just a freshman, incredibly impressive. Lovely splits, both the split and the straddle. Precision on the jumps was there. Stella has come into her own this year. She's competed in the exhibition, in the all-around all season, and here she is. It's paying off. She's in the lineup, the anchor freshman, Big Ten championship. What a treat. Nice, Rudy. You see the feet cross into the twist, but this is slow motion. The judges are not seeing things in the speed that we are. We're nitpicking.
Dani LaTronica, electronica, as Olivia Karras would say. Big score for the Nittany Lions. Rotation 3 on the bounce. As Washington's Lily Tubbs would tell you, stay connected to women's gymnastics on social media. Follow at B1G Gymnastics on Instagram and X, and then follow BTN on YouTube to get immediate access to the best highlights, features, and Big Ten teams you love. The social media team does such a great job covering Big Ten gymnastics. Here's the regular season standings.
And look at UCLA 9-0 for the second consecutive year in the conference. We'll see Minnesota, Michigan, and Michigan State later on this evening. But how about Iowa right there, right on par with them?
All those points will go toward the all-state standings as we take a look at how the final regular season standings will contribute to the All-State Women's Championship Series year-long challenge. I love this. UCLA with the lead at 20. All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back for Rotation 3 from Champaign, Illinois. Tomorrow, men's gymnastics comes your way when the Buckeyes and Nittany Lions compete in a marquee matchup. Live coverage begins at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Take a look at the scores from Rotation 2. including a career high for DePaula.
Halfway through, and we are looking good. Danny Latronica, the electronic lady on bars, 9.875. Maddie Komarovsky ending the show on beam for Maryland. So beautiful. And as you mentioned, Dean, that 9.9 from Stella DePaula, so impressive as a freshman in the anchor spot, career high. Can't ask for much more.
The 9.9 has given Iowa the lead at a 98.6. Ohio State through 2 rotations in second. Let's give you an all-around update.
Orly Tran, she is right there, ready to go. Same with Sophie Schriever. So impressed with her. A lot of great all-arounders in this rotation that we should make sure we're keeping our eyes on. But Gabby Dildy, she's holding on at the top. That is the score to beat in the all-around. So keep your eyes peeled to see if anyone can take over that top spot in session 2.
Third rotation, we'll see Iowa on the vault. They're 17th in the nation. Ohio State on the bars. It'll be Penn State on the beam. It'll be Gianna Masella with a 9.9 career high on the left for the Hawkeyes. And Jalen Pominger coming off a 9.775 will get things started on the bars for the Buckeyes. It'll be Penn State on the beam and Maryland on the floor here in rotation 3. Gianna looks poised and ready for Iowa as Pominger is up and going for the Bucks.
Nice job on first handstand. Maloney pack salto. Bull twisting Yurchenko for Gianna. Really tried to stick the landing. Chest was low. Had to take a step forward as we see a stick from Jalen over on the right, but you just saw that her chest came forward, and that's what resulted in the forward movement and the step forward, so the judges could deduct for under rotation as well as the step.
Penn State will lead off with Ellie Monahan, coming off a 9.75, has a career high of 9.875. Emily DeFries will lead off for Maryland. Her weekend scores last weekend, Friday, 9.85, Sunday, 9.65.
I talked to head coach Sarah Brown during practice today. She told me that Ellie gets most improved for her this season. Improved physically, mentally, emotionally. She's been so impressed with how she's contributed to this Penn State team. So far, so good for both athletes. Emily DeFries with a great first pass. Hop forward on the landing for Ellie. But a solid leadoff performance. You want your balance beam leadoff to have calm energy. You know they're gonna go up and hit. That's exactly what she did. Very pretty leaps from Emily. Straddle position was perfect.
Stella DePaula coming off a career high of 9.8.
Their 9.95 start value, a full twisting Yurchenko. Hop backward on her landing. I love how the Hawkeyes are landing and holding these positions. They're showing control. That's incredibly important. Flat body position, the hips just folded at the end, which is why she moved backward. But so far, so good in her first Big Ten championship. Very impressive.
Back to the bars, Sadie Jane Berry, 9.85 last week, career high 9.9. Ashley Mall next to go on the beam for Sarah Brown's Penn State team.
Nice final handstand. And unfortunately, a fall on the toe handstand. Just took her feet off of the bar early. Good time to remind you that 6 athletes compete, 5 scores count. So a fall early on puts a lot of pressure on Ohio State, but they can drop that score. Triple series from Ashley Mall. Bobble on the landing, but comes back nicely with control on her full turn.
Back up on the bars for Sadie Jane.
Nice job repeating that skill, gets it right. And a step backward on her landing. An unfortunate mistake as the routine was going so well. But as I mentioned, that is the score that Ohio State will want to drop in order to not count a fall in this competition. And Ashley Mall hanging on to the landing, an arm swing. Small adjustment here with the arm swing. I would love to see her get more height off the balance beam, but her feet did not move.
Meanwhile, on the right, Katrina Mendez-Abolnik last competed on the floor in 2023 when she was at Bowling Green. Her career high is a 9.85, and here she goes into the floor lineup at the Big Ten Championships while Sydney Turner gets ready for Iowa on the vault.
I've been looking forward to this floor routine from Katrina. And an unfortunate fall on vault for Sydney Turner. Very uncharacteristic for her. A 10-0 start value vault, it's a blind landing. It's much more difficult to find your landing. Take a look at what happened here. She had a good block, but look at the hips and the chest were just very far behind. She wasn't able to get right on top.
Katrina seems ready for the moment.
That opening full twisting double tuck was massive. I asked head coach Brett Nelligan, when are we seeing this in the floor lineup? And he said they're working on it, we'll see it, and what a time to see it.
Kalia McElligott on the beam in style for Penn State. Did fall last week, but does have a career high of 9.9, hoping to return to that form for the Nittany Lions.
Final pass for Katrina as Kalia McElligott. Nice job on her triple series. Extra power for Katrina at the end. Hop forward, but what a way to come back on floor after a few years. Good thing assistant coach JJ Ferreira was ready to go for that catch. We love an assist in gymnastics.
That was awesome.
Now enough, 1.5 twist, stuck landing. You know, honestly, I see no deductions there. That was fantastic. JJ, kudos to you, my guy. Good job being ready to go.
Yeah, it didn't even budge. As Raider next to go for Ohio State. Set her career high last week with a 9.875.
Two very important routines side by side. Mason and Oralee need to bring their team back after falls on their respective events. Full twisting Yurchenko from Oralee. Very minimal movement on the landing, exactly what they needed to get back on track. As Mason, with her own way of getting the team back on track, big step backward, but most important is that she hit.
Oralee, always fun to watch, no matter where she is. A little step back there for Maryland. Penn State getting ready to go on the beam. Elizabeth Leary, 9.775 last week was her season high, career high 9.85. Raina Engelmeyer for the Terps, Friday 9.625, Sunday a 9.8.
Opening test for Liz. Triple series, 2 back handsprings to a layout step out. Aggressive work. Raina opens up with a big front double twist. Jumps in a row. Her back leg was low on the 2 split full jumps. Judges are paying attention to if the athletes hit 180 degrees. Dismount for Liz. Round up 1.5. Hop forward on her landing. She's one of my favorite athletes in the Big Ten Conference. Has such an even-keeled energy to her. Knows how to dial it in. Really, the hop forward was the largest deduction in the routine.
One of my faves, Sophie Shriver, her career high set last week, 9.925 out of Sandy, Utah.
Here's our first look at a different vault. We saw Ava Piedrahita do a half on. Here's a full on to the table, to a very small hop backward. She stuck that vault a couple weeks ago. I asked her about it, and she said, I've been waiting to do that one, but the personality on her is out of control. Legs glued together, shuffle backward, but that's the best minimizing you can do.
How about the runway strut?
I mean, it is New York Fashion Week season, so I'm not shocked.
She is so fun.
And we get 3 more years of her. How lucky are we? Speaking of being lucky, the luck we've had seeing Tori Vetter compete in the Big Ten. What a treat every time she does gymnastics. That routine was one of the best I've seen her do this season.
Every time.
Toes are pointed, legs are straight. Look at the toes pointed in the air, sees the ground, finds it, hangs on. Man, are we gonna miss her.
And so consistent. We will miss her for sure. Maryland will bring out Madeline Komorowski on the floor. 9.85 on Friday, 9.875 on Sunday. Alyssa Kramer on the beam for Penn State, coming off a 9.825.
Nice job from Alyssa. Solid series. Opening element, Rudy. Saw her hop to the side. Could be a direction deduction the judges are paying attention to. Nothing to take on those jumps, as we see an unfortunate fall from Alyssa Kramer. Uncharacteristic for her.
Better score, 9.825.
So in the third rotation, we're seeing some falls that we hadn't seen earlier on in the competition. And that just means that more pressure is going to be on the remaining athletes. Gorgeous final pass for Maddie. Oh my gosh, that jump is just breathtaking.
Q, Jaquavia Henderson. Last week, 9.9, setting her season high after missing last year, trying to run down her career high of a 9.925.
Really nice finish from Maddie. Gorgeous split position as Q, capable of doing a Yurchenko 1.5, just does the full. Make sure they cannot count that fall from Sydney Turner. Very smart strategic move from the Iowa coaching staff.
Ava Jackson on the bars, right side for the Buckeyes. Dani Latronica next to go for the Nittany Lions on the left.
So far, so good for Ava. I love how aggressive she is. Let go early off the bar, hop forward on her landing. Both of her release elements are special. The Pack Salto has massive airtime. Van Leeuwen, perfect twist. Both handstands seemed rushed to me. Would love to see her be slightly more patient. And this, she just let go early. You see the chest over her knees. But they need hit routines after the fall early on, and that's exactly what that was, a hit routine.
Dani needs to deliver big for Penn State as well after the fall from Kramer. It was interesting, Sarah Brown was right there for Kramer to talk to her after that performance. Tell me, Olivia, you never fell, but if it did happen to happen, what was your reaction when the coaches came up to you?
You know, Dean, I did fall, but thank you for that. It's all about mindset, truly. You know, Alyssa is on floor for them last rotation. You have to put it behind you in order to continue on, because I like to call gymnastics 4 quarters, and the final quarter is where good stuff can happen, and she's critical in that quarter for them.
Good stuff always from Taylor Rack, Friday and Sunday with a 9.85. She's almost an automatic 9.85 this season.
And she is the engine for momentum, according to head coach Brett Nelligan. He said that she just drives the car with energy for this team as a leader, vocal, and in how she performs.
Taylor, a senior from Milton, Georgia.
Nice precision on her leaps. Final pass for Taylor. Combination. 1.5 to a front layout. Some extra movement forward after the front layout, but good job being aware of where the lines are on the floor to stay inbounds.
So you see the low score from Alyssa Kramer with Dani Latronica, first team All Big Ten.
And after that uncharacteristic fall, there's no one I'd rather have go on beam than Dani Latronica.
J.J. Coleman, 9.775 last week, career high 9.9. Second team All Big Ten selection on the bars for the Bucks.
And this is a new routine for J.J. Big height on the Jaeger release move. Leg separation on both releases. So those execution deductions, no doubt about it on the handstand. See if she can find the landing on her dismount. A step backward, but she will erase that low score early on in the rotation. Very important, as Dani Latronica is 2 on the way to replacing the fall from Alyssa Kramer. Just her dismount. Cartwheel to a gainer fall and a stick. My least favorite thing in the world is giving announcer curse, so I kept my mouth shut. But she has not gone below a 9.8 all season, 6 scores of a 9.9 plus. That is incredible consistency. Head coach Sarah Brown knows it too. Big hugs for Dani. Wow.
So we move back to the floor for the last one of the rotation. Anya Reed, 9.15 on Friday, 9.9 on Sunday. She has put up her career high of 9.975.
check out this opening pass. Double layout to a 2-foot landing. She really worked out of that, slightly lost control, but moved through well.
Olivia, she was flying on that pass.
And she only does it out of a round off, which is a preference. It doesn't matter if you do a round off back handspring or just a round off. But the speed and height she gets out of just one element is really amazing.
Anya, transfer from the University of New Hampshire, just a sophomore for the Terps.
I see you dancing, Dean. I think you like this one.
I love when they add in great dance elements, and she brings it.
Couldn't agree more. Fantastic routine to close out rotation 3. Kudos to you, Anya Reed, and welcome to the Big Ten. We like having you here. Here's that pass you mentioned, Dean. Tons of speed into the round off. Big set for the double layout, finds the ground, and dances out of it to the best of her ability. So impressive. Love the difficulty.
By the way, Rec tied her season high at 9.85. I love the jump there, and a great catch. People are celebrating, and they're even catwalking. If you're Sophie Schriever, do it if you got it. Rotation 4 when we return. Later tonight, live coverage of the 2026 Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championship presented by Allstate continues at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. And it is gonna be a show. 4 teams in the top 15 as the Big Ten is loaded.
It is, and I'm so proud of this conference. You see UCLA at 5, Michigan rounding out the top 10, Michigan State knocking at the door, and Minnesota right there too. But kudos to the other teams in this session as well. Ohio State, Penn State, and Iowa. It's gonna be a great night.
Jordan Childs always rocks the house. That'll be tonight. Later tonight, a rivalry match that takes center stage as the Buckeyes and Wolverines face off in the 2026 Big Ten Hockey Tournament Championship. The puck drops at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. It's the Wolverines and Olivia Karras' favorite team, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Get out of here, but I love them as gymnasts. Great bar rotation after that fall early on. JJ Coleman wiping that away. Kudos to her. We saw the runway walk from Sophie Schriever, and it was after a pretty great vault, 9.85 for her vault over there. Penn State, Danny Latronica keeps the 9.8+ streak rolling with that critical routine. And then Anya Reed, we loved that routine, and so did the judges, 9.9.
So Iowa with the team lead. But we also will continue to keep our eye on the all-around story as Dildy, remember it's 3 sessions for one event here. Dildy with that 39.325, that's the number they're trying to reach, and it's Schriever and Tran tied at 9.75.
And Gabby Dildy is holding strong with that score, but she can get past if we see big-time performances from some of these athletes. You see Anya Reed and Sydney Turner. Mathematically impossible to pass Gabby Dildy, but Liz Leary is still very much in this, as well as Tori Vetter, so there's still gymnastics to be had.
This is Meredith Paulasivic. So as we go to the 4th rotation, it'll be Maryland on the vault, where they're 25th in the country, and Iowa on the bars, where they're 12th in the country. Jaquavia Henderson, a second team all Big Ten, season high of a 9.85.
Q is very comfortable in this leadoff position. Maloney to a bail handstand, off on handstand on the low bar. Good save, saw her back arch slightly on the handstand. And a hop backward on her landing. But Q delivers week after week in the leadoff position on bars. You need a solid performer in that position. This is what the judges are seeing. You see the speed going into the dismount, legs stagger on the last tuck, and the hop back on the landing as Josephine Kogler delivers full twisting Yurchenko. Wasn't in a few other events this afternoon that we normally see from her, but she got the nod to vault, and my goodness, did she do it. Gorgeous position, toes pointed. I don't know if it was a perfect stick, but it was as close as you can get. Hugs all around.
Elizabeth Leary will lead off for Penn State, 26th in the nation on the floor, coming off her career high of a 9.85. Meanwhile, Riley Guevara up on the beam for the Buckeyes last week, a 9.775. I did want to say real quick, since we just saw Q, she's from Peoria, just about a 1 hour drive from here.
Opening pass from Riley. Gorgeous back handspring, layout step out. Final pass for Liz. 1.5 to a front layout. Great control on both passes. These athletes we're seeing in the leadoff positions were chosen in these spots for a reason. The team has incredible confidence in them. And Riley Guevara, an athlete who went up to head coach Meredith Polisivic and said, I want to lead off, and I want to be the 9.9 plus leadoff. She's done that already this season and more with a 9.925. See the feet cross in the twist. That's really the only execution deduction I saw throughout that routine. Solid as a rock.
Gianna Masella, second to go, coming off her career high of a 9.925 in her last performance. Can she do it again? Raina Engelmeyer next to go on the vault for Maryland on the left.
Huge amplitude on both release moves. Gianna looking great so far. Raina, another fantastic landing. Full twisting Yurchenko. As we see Gianna concluding her routine. Everyone stepping up in rotation for. Take a look at what the judges are seeing. Look at those straight legs, pointed toes, finds the ground. And Gianna finishing up her routine, incredibly dynamic. Just that hop backward on the landing.
Penn State always fires up that Lions roar. Ellie Monahan coming off her career high of a 9.85. So Leary and Monahan come in on a roll. Ava Jackson now up on the beam. She's coming off a 9.875.
Front double twist for Ellie to open up. Beautiful series for Ava Jackson. I love how she works beam, incredibly elegant. One of my favorite skills, a switch half to one leg. I don't think I've ever seen someone else compete that skill but Ava. Nice jumps from Ellie. Split was just shy of 180, but nice precision on the two wolf fulls. Final pass, front lay to a front full. Dances right out of it. those ab muscles for the stuck landing. They're 2 for 2 on beam with stuck landings. And I love the contrast between her and Riley. I don't really know what that was, but I loved it.
Me too.
Nice connection at the end of the routine for Ellie. Great control right into her dance. Loved it.
Great celebrations. Maryland, Anya Reed.
Another full twisting Yurchenko, a big step backward on this one. The distance from the table is really nice.
Sydney Turner up on the bars for the Hawkeyes as Cameron Smith talking to Meredith Polisiewicz.
Important routine for Sydney after the fall, and she delivers. So important after you have a mishap on the previous event. I mentioned the third quarter can go awry, but if you deliver in the fourth quarter, you can still turn things around, and that is what she did here. Nice point of release on the dismounts, ever so soft in the knees, in the air, but no doubt about it, that's a stuck landing.
So Meredith Polisiewicz with the final words to Cameron Smith as we move back to the floor, and Bella Masura 9.825 last week, career high of 9.9.
Opening pass for Bella, front double twist, big height. Really nice double wolf turn for Cam Smith. I love her technique. Front toss to back handspring series, keeps the arms moving. Very important when athletes are connecting elements. Final pass for Bella, front fold to a front layout. And a stick on beam for Cam Smith. 3 for 3 hit routines for both Penn State and Ohio State. Really nice job finding the ground, holding her landing position.
So that catwalk specialist Sophie Schriever just saw her teammate Sydney Turner tie her season high. She'll be on the right. Taylor Rack next to go for Maryland on the left-hand side of your Big Ten Network screen.
Full twisting Yurchenko for Taylor. Small step backward. A really nice job all around as Sophie. Good aggression on that handstand. We're seeing the smallest leg separations. And a hop backward on her landing. I know she wanted that stick. Oh, wow. A catwalk. I don't really know what it was, but we're definitely having a lot of diversity in our celebrations today. Lots of creativity. The Big Ten is a creative conference.
Thanks for taking that one.
Yeah, you're welcome. Big height on that dismount. I mean, my gosh, it's huge. And just couldn't hang on to the stuck landing, but does hold that landing position.
Natalie Martin up for the Buckeyes. Kalia McElligott for Penn State.
Solid back handspring layout, step out series for Nat. Big double tuck for Kalia to open her routine. Difficult leap combination for Kalia. A switch ring to a switch half in the ring position. Very difficult. A hop forward for Natalie Martin. 4 for 4 for the Buckeyes on beam as Kalia McElligott finishes another fantastic floor routine for Penn State. Natalie has such quick twitch movements. Just couldn't hang on to the stick, but the routine on the beam was solid as a rock.
We move back to the vault and the Terps with Logan Buckman. 9.875, career high, season high. Look at that amplitude on the right.
Logan also competing a full twisting Yurchenko.
Toes.
Toes indeed, her feet did not move, but that is a balance deduction on the landing. The judges will deduct for the fact that her chest came down and she really went up on the toes. And hey, JJ Ferreira is really getting the hugs today.
Daisy Bowles up on the bars for Iowa. This after Sophie Schriever has taken the all-around lead with her performance right before her and a random celebration.
Good routine for Daisy. She's been near perfect with a 9.95. First half of this routine was lovely. Saw her rush on the blindfold going into the double tuck, which I presume is why there was a hop backward on her landing.
You know, it's interesting. You kind of mentioned it, but Tori Vetter pops up on the screen and you just have this calmness kind of go through you.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And she is most certainly someone I would recruit for my team. Her energy is calm confidence.
Jessica Johansson for Penn State, 5th to go, coming off a 9.875, which by the way is her season high.
Solid series for Tori. See a big double pike from Jessie. Gorgeous routine so far from Tori Vetter.
Vetter, if she can top a 9.9, she could put herself in contention perhaps to win a beam title, knowing there's 4 amazing teams coming tonight. Wow.
My goodness. I think that might be one of the best beam routines I've seen in a while. That was so excellent. The pacing was beautiful. The positions, the leaps, the acro elements, of course the landing. Look at the height. Her hips stay flat, finds the landing, holds it for control. I think that should do it for her.
Katrina Mendez-Obolnik, who jumped into the arms of her coach, and I would have been knocked over, and he handled it great. She handled it wonderful.
Big Yurchenko, 1.5. Forward movement, saw some softness in her knees in the final half turn, but kudos to her for bringing the difficulty.
How about having Orly Tran, a first-team All-Big Ten, as your anchor, coming off a 9.85.
Beautiful precision so far in this routine. See if she can find the landing because this could be big. There it is. We are seeing back-to-back excellence. I hear the crowd chanting 10. You know, I'm not the judge's view. I'm seeing something a little bit different. I thought it was pretty darn good. Look at the straight legs. big fist pump in the air from Kyle Grable, getting the crowd hyped up, and rightfully so. Wow, Orly.
Go back to the floor on the right. Alyssa Kramer coming off a 9.875. She is in the anchor spot for Sarah Brown's Penn State Nittany Lions. Better 9.650.
That's confusing.
Very.
Beautiful opening pass for Alyssa. It looks like there may be a judges conference on balance beam, and I'm glad there is, because that was a very confusing score. As Alyssa Kramer, some movement on those jumps. We talked about how the judges want to see you start and land in the same place.
Orly Tran, by the way, now has herself #1 in bars as we're almost complete with 2 sessions.
Oh my gosh, just beautiful. Alyssa is one of my favorite floor workers. That connection, the Rudy to the layout step out, the technique is awesome. Kudos to her after the very uncharacteristic miss on beam, coming back for that fantastic floor routine.
You see the scores across the bottom. A big day for the Iowa Hawkeyes, #21 in the country, a 196.7. And 1 and 2 in the all-around, as Orly Tran now the leader for the all-around at 39.525.
I'm really happy the judges are conferencing, because I like to think I know something about gymnastics, and I thought that routine was pretty spectacular. But as we wait for it, Orly Tran, a 39.525, just 75 hundredths away from her career high of a 39.6. Incredibly impressive. Started off on beam. She had sticky feet all around. This floor routine, just one of the best. The elegance is incredible. The tumbling is dynamic and powerful. Even beautiful and elegant on vault. And then, of course, the exclamation point, this uneven bars routine, 9.95. Technique on point. See her have a little moment to soak it all in, and as she should. She's one of the best bar workers in the country, and she deserves it.
Well, that performance has pushed her to the all-around lead. And look at those scores, the beam 9.9, and then the bars with that 9.95. She'll have some pretty talented gymnasts with an eye on that all-around number tonight in the final session.
That is correct, but that's a pretty great score to have as the top all-around score going into the evening session.
All right, kind of feel bad for Courtney McCann for a couple reasons. One, she had a long wait, and two, she has to forget about her performance last week where she did have a stumble, so kind of a double whammy. Let's see if she can shake off both of those things as Courtney McCann now on the beam for the Buckeyes.
This routine has difficulty, this opening series. Unique one in the Big Ten, a round off layout. And unfortunately off on that skill. It's really difficult to stand there and wait so long to go. It breaks the momentum. You have to get yourself in the headspace all over again.
That was a long wait.
Really long wait. Especially after seeing your teammate absolutely crush a beam routine. You know, we say we're not paying attention to scores, but you're always looking. As important to note, that full turn up to staying on high toe and releve was excellent. And a hop forward on her landing, not the way the Buckeyes wanted to close out.
Good day for Ohio State, though, as you see that 196.25. Let's take a look at the dismount for McCann.
Of course, not the routine that she wanted, but the height is really nice off of the balance beam. Shoulders came forward for the hop.
All right, we'll be back to wrap things up, but we will salute Iowa as they're the new clubhouse leader, and Orly Tran, your all-around leader. Stay with us on the Big Ten Network. Coming up right here on the Big Ten Network, men's lacrosse as Maryland battles Penn State. That's next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. As you see, the Penn State men. Let's take a look at the standings as the leader of the clubhouse, as I like to say, the Iowa Hawkeyes now at a 196.7. They knew the number to beat coming in was Rutgers 195.7. A big day for Iowa. Don't forget, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 4 top 15 teams. Orly Tran, you're all around. On the beam, a 9.9, which is tied for first for Tran. On the floor, a 9.875, tied for 8th. On the vault, a 9.8, tied for 7th. And the best so far on the bars, and probably put her in the position to perhaps win the all-around, a 9.95. And guess what? She's standing by with Olivia Karas.
Orly, what an incredible uneven bars routine. What was going through your mind during that routine?
Honestly, I was just thinking of doing my normal because my amazing team just set it up well in front of me, and I didn't have to worry about like the team aspect of my score, and I was just, okay, well, do what you can do. And then my coach was also bumping me up to do that.
You are in the lead in the all-around, and your team is in the lead in the team competition. How does that feel in this moment right now?
It feels amazing. Our team did amazing, and also we have this amazing crowd, so it was just perfect for us.
The Big Ten is incredibly competitive, and your team is one of those teams. What do you think about this conference this season and the remainder of this competition?
Well, I think if we keep doing what we can do big things.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and enjoy the rest of the competition. Back to you, Dean.
What a wonderful student athlete, Orly Tran, your all-around leader, and Iowa Hawkeyes, your team leader. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this. Session 2 completed, and the Iowa Hawkeyes, the leader in the clubhouse with a 196.7. Solid, though, from Ohio State and Penn State as well. The all-around standings entering the championships of note because, of course, the Jordan Childs show will take place tonight.
And you see there, number 5, Orly Tran, is the leader right now. Her NQS, which is her average of the season, a 39.420, and she got a higher score than that. She's at a 39.525, so kudos to her at this point in the season at a huge competition, getting a better score than we're seeing as her average. And then, of course, you know, we saw Tori Vetter. She had a great evening. Still no idea about that beam score. I'm going to find out about that. And Gabby Dildy, who was the leader in the clubhouse going into this competition. So some big-time names that we're seeing, and we get to see more of them this evening.
All right, let's take a look at the all-arounders for tonight. Olivia Karas, I cannot wait.
Well, you talked about it. Jordan Childs is certainly going to put on a show. She is in the best shape and form she's looked in her entire college career with a 39.875 season high. That is absolutely massive. Her teammate as well, Tiana Sumanasekara, has been excellent. She has known for her fluid beam work, but dynamic across the board, has been in and out of the all-around, toying with bars. Nikki Smith last week, a 10 on floor. She most certainly would love to do that later this evening, and holds the third highest top all-around score in program history, as well as the first. Ariana Ostrom, speaking of 10s, a 10 on vault last week, a 9.975 on floor exercise last week. She is flirting with perfection across the board. It's going to be great.
That'll wrap session 2 from Illinois, where the leader right now is the Iowa Hawkeyes. Coming up, it's Big Ten men's lacrosse, Maryland and Penn State. For Olivia, I'm Dean. We'll see you at 6 p.m. Eastern to crown a champion.